something about the consistency for any practice
Yeah.
that holds you, that you can do for a period of time and go on for a long time. It seems like we get so much from these practices.
Yeah. Well, it is again that thing of committing to making yourself small in the presence of all that is. And every time I've fallen out of step, every time I get put in check, every time I got to get a liver shot from the universe is when I'm out there on the bleeding edge, almost always unconsciously. I was not consciously deciding to deviate from a healthy interaction with my surroundings. Something had triggered me, something got my goat. It was a resentment, it was a fear. I was either going to not get something I wanted or lose something I had or get out of balance. I even had one just a couple days ago. I was driving up to this conference and I was going to participate in this musical presentation. And I got up there and I realized by the time I was there for the rehearsal that there was no way that I could do anything except leave this rehearsal. And I don't like being that person. And it wasn't because anybody had done anything wrong. It was because the process had gone past the point communication-wise where what I had signed up for could be utilized. And particularly if you're a celebrity, you know, that people start thinking, oh, he wants to be apologized for because we didn't understand. I was like, no. This wasn't an apology thing. It was just, do you ever step into a situation, I'm sure you've had to do it, and you go, oh, this is at a place where the best thing I can do is not engage, but bow out. No harm, no foul. And not because the way they do it and the way I do it. It was just things had gone past the point where there could be an interaction. So I always self-judge when that happens because I wonder,
Would it happen often?
No. No. Seldom. Which is why when it does, I go, was that my instinct or was that my ego? And then you have to fall back and really, you have to kind of do a post-mortem on it. What just happened then? Because that felt like reverse magnets. Like I went, it was like, and I just said, oh, I don't need to fight force with force.
Yeah.
And I don't need to try to grind my way into a participation. So I backed out, I got in the car. And as we were, by we, I was alone. So who's the we? As I was coming
There's
around.
a bunch of you.
You bet. As we were all driving in the car I was alone in, I came up to a stop sign. This is in Santa Barbara.
How was the conversation in the car?
You know what? I totally said, dude, get off your own back. You're a grown-ass man. This wasn't one of those things where I had put anyone out or that they were going to have to change much. I actually realized that the extraction was mathematically very well suited to not affecting the algorithm. In fact, as I was driving away, I was thinking, this is going to go very well. Better
Could
than
have done more harm had you stayed.
That was the one, bro.
Understood.
And that's the hardest thing to communicate is, I know this is looking like I'm reneging, but I'm actually trusting myself to say, I just looked at this algorithm and I'm saying the only problem with this is the integer I. So I'm going to step away. As I'm driving, I'm going, Downey, you got to get off your own back. Trust your gut, trust your gut. I come up to this little stop sign and there's this huge white work truck. Looks like one of those apple pickers on top. I've gone about 16 inches over where the stop line is. But this thing is coming much closer to the side of the road, coming up on me from the left. And I go, courteous. I put it in reverse. I back up and smack right into another work truck that was too close to me.
Wow.
And now I go, you know when we think we're impervious to the unavoidable? I always call it taking one for the team, right? You break your ankle. Something happens. Your house burns down. Name the 1,000 things. And I always go, well, not why me? Why not me? Isn't it my turn? And I try to, if I ever use magical thinking, it's in those moments. I go, this is good. I get out of the car and I walk right up to these two guys who look, and by the way, the front of their work truck looks like they rear end people 3 times a week. And I got out of the car, I go, totally my fault. Front of your truck is fine. Back of my new car is fucked. I love it. Sorry for your trouble. And I get in the car and I drive away. As I get in the car to drive away, of course, the driver of the truck in back of me that had essentially not rear-ended me, but
Yeah.
not been able to avoid me. I front-ended a truck.
Yeah.
Not easy.
No.
As I got away, he goes, yeah, could have been a kid between us. And I was like, now we're on to a whole other page. Like, the weird thing is sometimes you extend an olive branch and someone pulls it in and puts a little poo-poo on it and hands it back to you.
Yeah.
Which is this odd thing of internal, external boundaries, the exchange. And I'm here to open a door, but I'm not here to be a doormat. And so I shut that off. I was like, dude, he just said what he said. Keep driving.
Yeah.
And then I got back to where I was going.
I think it's also, you could look at it as that was verification that you're not supposed to be there anymore.